Good morning, stamping friends. Happy Friday. You know me, I look forward to saying those words every week on Friday. Thank you for joining me. In case it's your first time, my name is Lorri Heiling, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I always look forward to sharing some projects with you. So what is going on in your world? Does everyone have their taxes done? That was my big accomplishment for this week. Oh, it feels so good. I was just figuring out only 9 more months and I get to gather everything up again. But anyway, that's always a good feeling. And the other accomplishment I had was I got rid of all my St. Patrick's Day decorations. Not a whole lot, but and I brought out the Easter. So I'm in full swing of spring things here, and I'm looking forward to Easter. However, I'm not sharing an Easter project today. I'm gonna share a new stamp set that is available to customers and demonstrators now. So let me switch my camera around, and then I can show you on my desktop, and it's a little bit easier. I just have to flip a couple things so you're not upside down. Hold on. Is it upside down? Yes, it is. Let me find that button. I'm so sorry. It seems like every time I do this, it looks different, but I'm almost there. There we go. Okay. So I always put my host code at the top. If there's ever anything that you see on here and you are interested in, just go ahead and use that host code. That helps me with some of the rewards that I do. And whoops, let me straighten this out. All right, so the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is next week I will be having a new class to go, and this one will be starting next week, and it will the RSVP deadline will be the first part of April. So watch that. I think Tuesday morning is when I'm going to do my debut, and so I think you're going to like it. It's something different. And then also, I wanted to share the projects that we did for Creative You. I know I explain this a lot, but especially for new people, I do classes in my home called Creative You, but they're also available for people who don't live by me, and then you can purchase them, or they're not for sale, they're free actually. All you have to do is put an order in that's $35 or more, and you will get the parts and pieces sent to you free as a thank you for your order. So I'll show you what March's was, and then if you put an order in before April 10th, you will get in on the new April projects. So the first one used Pretty Perennials, and this is a real pretty stamp set, and it goes well with the bright colors, and I stamped on the inside to make it coordinated. The next one is using the Dragonfly stamp set. Isn't that pretty? There's Wink Estella on here that you can't maybe see in the camera, but it's very shimmery. And then I stamped the inside on that as well. And the last one uses the Hey Chick, the birthday set that is new this year. During, when did this come out? I think it was during Celebration, but this is still available. And then on the inside here, I may have showed these already, but I know there's always new people finding my website. So I just wanted to share those again, and then to remind you that get those orders in and use the host code, and then you will receive the free April class. All right, so today we are going to use the stamp set, and it's called Butterfly Brilliance. This is a new stamp set that rolled out for customers this month. Isn't that pretty? And it's one big stamp set. You don't have to use all the butterflies at one time, which is what we're going to do today, but isn't that pretty? But I wanted to show you a little trick that you want to do before you throw all the scrap pieces, because if you see these scrap pieces in here, these are valuable, and I'll show you why. And the scrap pieces here have nothing to do with the project that I'm going to share with you, but I just wanted to show you in case you ordered it and before you throw things away. And I got this idea from Kali Bertucci. I think that's how you say her last name. She and Bruno are a team that are just so encouraging, and they really are, you know, get my juices flowing because I get so many great ideas and they help with the mojo. So anyway, check out their blog. I'll put a link in my Facebook page. All right, so what I did was I popped out all these scrap pieces that normally would have hit the trash can, and I put them on a block, and I'm going to show you what we can do with this. Whoops, let me grab my scrap paper, and let's use Bumblebee and cinnamon cider. So what you can do with this is use these, and we are going to create a animal print background. This is so cool, and I'm eventually going to have a project that will use this, but because I just got my stamp set, I didn't have time to come up with one. Oops, see that? I got a blop on here. I should have noticed that from there, but oh well. I'm sure animal prints have blops in them too. So look at how easy that is to make a really cute background. And what I would pair this with is the Back on Your Feet stamp set. Look at this. It matches perfectly. Isn't that cute? I'm going to have fun with that one. So I just wanted to point that out before you throw those away. So while you're at it, just order both stamp sets. And you have a lot of creating you can do with those two stamp sets. I love that because we don't really have a background stamp for animal print right now. And this was cinnamon cider on Bumblebee cardstock. So that's just a little side note today. Now we'll get started on the project that I wanted to share with you. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to show you a fun fold as well. We'll start with just a plain piece of cardstock. This is Bumblebee, and it's cut at 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then we are going to take 2 little strips of Designer Series paper. And the paper that I'm using is called Ornate Garden Specialty Paper. And I like to make these little charts so that I don't have to keep flipping the paper pack over and reading the tiny print that you need bifocals with. And this way I can easily see what colors go with it. I just punch little circles in cardstock that coordinate with it, and I just put a little 2" by 2" square on this sheet, and I grab these all year round because it's just easier for me that way. So I just kind of looked at all of them and saw which mix and match print I wanted to put together. So let me show you what I came up with. 2 little strips. These are 5 1/4 by 3/4 inch. We're just gonna flip those over, and oops, I'm grabbing my old snail. I think I'm on my last refill of this, and I'll be switching, but I wanted to use this up. And we're just going to put this on the very side of this, and this is a way that you can save some paper. A lot of people will cut a full piece of paper and just put it on the front, but a lot of it we're going to be covering up with more cardstock, so we can save a little bit of paper by just putting it on the strip on the side, because that's really all we're going to see. Then I took sheet of another Bumblebee sheet, and this is 11 inches by I think it's 2 3/4, if I don't. Yep, 2 3/4. And oops, you can see I hit my cinnamon cider down here, but have no fear, I'll show you how we'll hide that up. I scored the 11-inch side in half at 5 1/2 and fold on the score line, and I'll just put that little bloop on the back. So we're just going to add some adhesive, and when I have a fold, I like to add extra at the top because we do not want that coming off. All right, and let's put this on the front and just center it, and the bottom and top should line up together. Whoops, actually we're going to go way to the bottom, not to the 5 1/4. So go to the bottom and the top. There we go. And then while we're at it, I'm just going to stick the white paper inside. Again, I really messed up with that cinnamon cider. Look at, I got another blop there. But that doesn't matter. That'll just go face down. And this piece is, oh, it's on my tape. That's where it's coming from, because I just added more. This one's 5 1/4 by 2 1/2. And we're just going to put that on the inside. And for this one, I did not add a sentiment because I'm not sure what I want to use this for yet. So I hate that when it usually happens with funeral cards. I make all these birthdays and thank yous and pretty florals, and then all of a sudden I'll need a funeral card or a sympathy card, and then I'm usually I end up pulling off the birthday sentiment and putting in I'm sorry one. So here's the start of our card. Let's set that aside. Now we're going to add some coordinating designer series paper from the same pack. I pulled out some of the greens in here. And this piece is, I believe it's the same as that white, 5 1/4 by 2.5 inches. And then we're going to pull this really pretty bumblebee gingham ribbon. And we're just going to tie a bow around here. And there's not really a trick to tying the bow. Let me make that end a little bit longer. What I like to do is tie it. I don't even care if it's straight or crooked, because if it seems upside down or crooked or whatever, you can just pull the whole thing off, slide it off the end, and then just turn it around. So it lays better that way. I might luck out. Yep, I did. This one is going to be fine right where it's at. So just tie that, and then let me get my paper snips, trim down the top a little bit. And another little trick I've done over the years is sometimes as I'm creating, I don't really know where I want that bow to set. Like, do I want it over to the left more? By the way, you can slide it easily by just bending the paper and then going like that. And I don't know how high or low I want it. So my little trick is, I don't want dimensionals on this, but I want adhesive. So I'll just put it at the top and at the bottom. And that way I can still fiddle with this bow and move it around, because even, let me show you. I'm going to put this on the front. Even when it's on the front, I can still maneuver it because I did not tape it down. You know what I mean? So I can, let's hike it up, or if you want it to the left, just bow it again like I did before and slide it that way. Whoops, hang on tight. I guess I can't go left and right. How did I do that last night? Because I definitely hiked it over. There we go. It does move. All right, so that's about where I want that. Now, the next one I took was a little rectangle from Stitch So Sweetly. I think you're probably going to say, man, she uses that one a lot. It just has so many fun shapes in it. And I'm just going to adhere this on the back, and I'm going to use mini dimensionals on this, just one in each of the corners. And let's put this on the front. This will be a nice springy card for you. Is it spring in your neck of the woods? If you're in the south, it's probably getting pretty warm. I think it hit, gosh, it's got to be upper 70s here now. But I hesitate saying that all the time because I know not everywhere has great weather. All right, so let's go right about there. And then I took one piece that was just a bit smaller. I just measured inside the stitched line there. By the way, this piece is a little over 3 inches by 2 inches. Now this one is 1 5/8 of basic white by 2 3/4 inches. Now we're not going to adhere that yet. We are going to stamp on it, and this is where the butterfly comes into play. Let's see, let's go this way. So I took crumb cake ink because it's nice and light, and I just want kind of a background for this. When you have a humongo stamp like this, it's best to, oops, I got a little piece of cardstock or something on there. Just take your pick tool and get that off. It's bouncing all over. There we go. All right. Just go like this to get it inked up. And I want it super light. So what I'm going to do is called stamping off. What that means is you're going to stamp on your scrap once and then pull your real paper over. And I'm going to aim for these 2 butterflies at the bottom. It's such a small piece of paper, but I just want this kind of as a background. So I'm just going to go like this and ink it like that. Now it's ready to adhere to the front. So let's put some tape on the back and then put it on here. And There's our little bit of a background. Now what I did was I took the smallest die, and let me show you all the dies you get in this. It's amazing. This is bundled, so you can buy these together and save 10%. Look at all those butterflies. This will punch out the very detailed, and then this big one will punch out each of the butterflies if you just want the background or the around the edge cut out. There's a brick. There's really fun shapes here. Now, you might not always want to use this whole sheet of butterflies, so just cut your paper however big the butterfly is that you want, and then stick it in your cut and emboss machine, and just cut the ones that you want. All right, now this is the butterfly that I cut out, and it's using this paper. I just used the smallest flower. You can barely even tell it's a flower, but it's mainly the colors that I wanted. And then I kind of bent the wings back a little bit. Then I'm going to take these pearls, and I put a larger one on for the head, right up here. And then I use the smaller ones. I had 4 on here, and I can see that they fell off my sheet here. Sometimes when I take them off, the glue comes off with them and stays on the sheet. But I can pick them up over here off the screen. So let's put like maybe 3 of those. Actually, I need to hike the head up a little more so the rest of these fit on. There we go. 1 more. Whoops. This pick tool really comes in handy because it's like an extension of your fingers, and then you don't have to try to grab these. There. Oh, I forgot to say I got my Easter nails. Do you like my little peeps? I have a fetish over peeps. Not to eat them, but to decorate with them, so you'll find them sprinkled all over my house. All right, then we're just going to take a little glue dot, and 1 should do it, just 1 on the body. And we are just going to stick this on the front of the card like this, just kind of at an angle. And there we go. And this way, like I said, I can use this for a birthday, thank you, sympathy, whatever. Thinking of you, and I'm going to wait, like I said, with the inside. You could do a couple butterflies if you wanted, just to jazz that up. But there's today's card. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you join me next week as I show you my new class to go. And thank you so much for joining me today, and we will see you next week, Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Arizona time. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.